and welcome to Galway Student News. I'm Alison O'Brien. ShoutOut hosted a talk by popular cartoonist and trans activist Sophie Labelle, author of the webcomic Assigned Male.
The message about trans bodies, we've all heard it, where it's all about being born with the wrong body or being trapped in a girl's body or a boy's body, and they aren't necessarily in the wrong body, or their body isn't necessarily wrong or all wrong. Children started reading that comic, and that was weird because I don't know if you've seen my earlier work, like from last year. I was really into feminist theory and very sociological terms, and it was really complicated. I started receiving fan arts from 6 years old children, and I was like, oh my god, they really need that. Words are so important when you're talking about identity and gender overall, because words can be such powerful weapons. Just to use the word cisgender will create a fuss in between my readers, and people will fight in the comments. Websites dedicated to hate me, and that's not just because of my hair.
She described the conflict between the instant feedback of publishing her comics online versus the potential benefits for her younger audience of writing a larger project that could be stocked in bookstores and libraries.
Working on a project without being able to show every step of it on to people to get feedback isn't something I'm considering anymore, because I really enjoy the instantaneity of the webcomic format, but then I have this thing that I would need to get that work in bookstores available for a greater audience.
Labelle has had difficulty dealing with abusive comments on her work.
I curl in bed and cry. I did that once, and when it started actually, because mostly because I was attacked on the fact that I was an elementary school teacher and I was trans.
Many of her opponents identify as trans-exclusionary radical feminists or TERFs. Labelle explained and criticised their actions.
Gender identity is a construct, so trans women are biologically male anyway, so they constantly misgender every trans woman, and so yeah, they're really bad. Me and a couple of other activists in Canada have been filed in one of those websites, and what they do is that they usually try to get a picture from before transition, and they put all of our personal information there. I got my social security number there. I got all the places I worked. They managed to find that. They once had my address. I don't know if it's still there, because I moved actually. and yeah, birth name, they put everything there. I get to meet so many people just traveling, and people that give me back so much. Just meeting people, as it really changed me, and the story people write me, messages I get, everybody wants to share their story with me somehow, and it's just so amazing, all the love I get from that. And I don't know, it kind of feels like a drawing sometimes, where it's so powerful, just feeling part of that. I would call it a community, but I don't know, I feel really connected with that job, and yeah, it's a childhood dream come true. So I've tried to hold on it for as long as I can. I actually, at that point of my life where I just don't assume anything, and I just use gender neutral for everybody until proven the opposite, especially babies right now, and I'm having so much trouble generating babies. Like you know, when there's a new parent and they're so proud of their little girl, and you arrive and you can't say she for the baby, and you're like trying to like just use the name of the baby again and again. I was very critical of a campaign that we had in Quebec. Like the government had this campaign against homophobia and transphobia, but it was so normative that it was just like missing target, like in such an obvious way, where like the ads that were on TV, like you would see gay couples, lesbian couples, and very binary trans people, and they were asking, would you be okay if that was your brother, your sister, and that was like the concept. And it was so obvious that they were just trying to make it more normal, you know. You know, they're normal people. You wouldn't recognize them. I don't know if it's the case here, but in Canada there's many camps for children of queer couples. So yeah,
we don't have anything like that here.
Yeah. ShoutOut actually works with secondary schools giving workshops for to prevent LGBT bullying. So
in elementary school?
In secondary schools, is that right?
So that's
the elementary schools are a lot of them are run still by the Catholic Church, so they wouldn't let something like that.
Yeah, 90% Catholic Church.
Yeah, it's quite tragic because that's the age that children are most likely to actually be realizing that they are LGBT, and by the time we get to them, it's about at 15, and like since the average age of realizing that you are LGBT is 12 years old, the average coming out age is 17. We are missing out on 3 years of making sure that these kids don't feel like they're crap because they're, you know, not cis and not straight.
The problem is that there's still such a culture of we don't want your kids to know about this. Even in minor things with regards to sexual education, like I went to a Catholic school and they basically just went like anything the parent doesn't want to know, we won't teach you. And like it'll be even more extreme for LGBT issues.
Just as if you know, children wouldn't learn about gender stereotypes in kindergarten. Like, well, we're not talking about it, so they're not learning it. No, that's not how it works. Actually, like
I grew up in the second largest city in the country, and I didn't actually know there was an LGBT youth group until I came here in Cork. I didn't know there was an LGBT youth group in Cork. Nobody ever mentioned it to me. Like my best friend in school was a lesbian, and she didn't know. She came out at the age of 12, and she didn't know there was an LGBT youth group in Cork. Nobody talked to her just about it. Nobody offers resources. Like you actually have to go out and find them yourself, and that doesn't work.
next step is not adding our sex markers of documents. You know, as you know, when in the 50s, most driver's license had our race on it and our religion, and they took it out because it was racist, and you could like discriminate so easily with those that, well, why don't we do the same with sex? Because isn't it a way to have sexism made more easy?
The concert to celebrate marriage equality, and they had like all those, you know, politics making like 10, 20-minute speeches, and then there were like 2 trans people at the end having a speech prepared, and people were like, sorry, we have no time, like just no time. So it took the crowd to like move them, so that one of the trans people could do like a 2-minute speech, like very, very fast. There is no awareness like for about trans issues. I came out to a few friends, they're not my friends anymore.
We know that the children that we have at those workshops or at those camps, like either summer camps or retreats, they are the children that are already in good hands, and we know that the one that need it the most, the ones that need it the most, like we can't even reach them.
Alison O'Brien, Galway Student News.